Hi, my name is Mark, and I'm presenting my prototype, BattleMage. BattleMage is a 2D side-scroller hack-and-slash. The primary design goal of the game was to create movement and combat that felt natural for the players. To properly present this, I determined 4 necessary features. A character controller with fast movement, a ranged attack, and situational melee attacks, 2 enemy types, a camera controller with smooth movement, and various effects for responsive gameplay. To accomplish this, I used 3 different planning tools. A Gantt chart allowed me to plan and track my progress at a feature level. I also used a burn down chart to track my progress at a task level. Finally, I used Trello as a sprint backlog to keep detailed information on the status of each task. The first feature of this game is the character controller. It was important to have many movement and combat options. Beyond basic movement and a variable jump, the player also has a dash movement. For combat, there are ranged and melee options. The ranged attack is charged and fired upon release of the attack button. The longer the charge, the higher the size of the projectile. Size affects the speed, physical appearance, and damage of the projectile. The physical size is directly proportional to the size variable. The speed is inversely proportional. The damage is exponentially proportional. Melee attacks are situationally activated. Pressing the attack button while on the ground activates a basic attack. An air attack is similar, but also freezes the gravity of the player and any enemies hit. This allows for air combos. Attacking while dashing continues the dash movement while attacking until the end of the dash. There's also a jump attack, which adds an additional upward force to the player and enemies hit while attacking. Finally, the slam attack adds a downward force with the attack. There are 2 simple enemy types. The ninja enemy moves along the ground towards the player. When in range, it begins a melee attack. The dragon enemy behaves similarly, however it moves by flying. Flying is accomplished by applying a force directly proportional to the dragon's distance from its goal height. The goal height is set every few seconds at a height relative to the player's position. In order to make this flight work without significant bobbing, the dragon's velocity is clamped. The dragon uses a ranged attack similar to the player's. The camera has several features to enhance the gameplay experience. Instead of exactly following the player, the camera uses asymptotic smoothing to move towards its goal position. The smoothing value is different for horizontal, raising, and lowering. A moderate amount of smoothing is used for all directions whenever the player is on the ground. In air, the smoothing follows up loosely while following tightly when falling. The camera also attempts to keep nearby enemies on screen whenever they are close. This effect starts small but increases as the enemy gets closer. Finally, there's camera shake. The camera shake uses purlin noise and increases with consecutive hits. The final planned feature is the various effects. These are not relevant to mechanics, but provide the feedback that facilitates the feeling of the game. The charge particles show the player how much they've charged their ranged attack. The damage flash gives a clear indicator of when the player or an enemy has taken damage. Spinning enemies onto feet gives a much more satisfying feel to combat than destroying them immediately. The slow motion when the player is defeated gives them time to feel the impact of the loss. In addition to the planned features, one more large feature was implemented. In the arena level, there's an RPG leveling mechanic. After defeating several enemies, the player will be able to upgrade one of 4 skills. Upgrading a skill increases the variables that control that aspect of the character controller. To maintain balance, the maximum number of enemies that can be spawned at once is increased every time the players level up. And that is BattleMage. Thank you for your time.